Maybe you know Keith Wilson. Very straight-laced lawyer, a couple years older than me. He worked for the Farmers Advocate, then he worked in property rights. And I saw him make a tweet last night. I was doing our live show last night, and he was so calm. In fact, let's put that tweet on the screen if we can. He said, and this is like the most straight-laced lawyer you'll ever meet. He like irons his blue jeans. And he said, let's hold a proper, fair, and lawful vote on separation. If Alberta votes to separate, the Supreme Court of Canada has laid out the process to implement the divorce. Alberta will be much better off without the burdens Ottawa imposes, and we won't have to send our wealth to Ottawa. Sorry, but it's time to go. And I saw that, and it was done in the style of the personality of that man. Calm, methodical, legalistic, absolutely law-abiding, not hot-blooded. In fact, he's saying sorry. Like, it's not a rage, I'm out of here. It's not a hot-tempered moment.
He's not slamming the door, he's just leaving.
Yeah, he's just saying, okay, so we're done. All right, guess what, guys? Good news. There's a process here. It's already been litigated by our Quebec friends. Yep. There's already roads, so it's not illegal. This isn't being a traitor. This isn't being, like, this is not a civil war. Hey guys, there's a process. It's already hammered out. Let's do it. I'm a lawyer. I'm sorry, but I think this is how we should go about it. You've got severely normal guys like that, and I saw professional, moderate, fancy people, not nationalist, populist, pitchfork. I'm not talking about the Preston Manning populists. I'm talking about the establishment guys, the well-to-do guys, the temperate.
The people who have a lot to lose.
Yeah.
From doing things wrong.
Yeah, and they're just done, and it's not even rage. It's all right.
No, it's resignation. I tried to explain this to a radio host in Central Canada earlier this week. I said it's just resignation. It's not anger. It's not. And when I say that there's going to be a separatist movement come out of this in Alberta, I don't know to what extent that's going to happen. I already know that there's a conference going on in Red Deer in mid-November where people are going to talk about some of the processes that need to go through in order to get a movement going, and then to make the movement and to have the movement lead to real independence. It's just going to happen. And they said, so it's that anger? I said, well, there's a lot of anger for sure. But mostly this is not coming from establishment people. This is coming from people in professions whose lifestyle really isn't affected as much by bad federal government decisions as people who work in the patch or who own small businesses. I said, these are just people who are quietly resigned to the fact that this doesn't work anymore. Yeah, and I said, you know, the one thing that's different about Alberta independence, which doesn't really exist yet. I think it's coming. I think the mentality is coming. It needs to. It's very amorphous right now. It's kind of like a cloud. It needs to be condensed a bit and become much more focused. But I said the difference is Quebec could never bring itself to leave because it could never give up the money. Right. It was always the money, and $14 billion in equalization every year. They just can't give that up. Yeah. And they know subconsciously they can't. Yeah. I said, but Alberta also knows subconsciously that if it left, it probably would have more money. Yeah. And so that's the huge difference. And I said, this is not going to be Jacques. If it comes to this, and I have not entirely convinced yet that it will come to this, but if it comes to this, this will not be Jacques Parizeau's never-ending trip to the dentist. Yeah. That's what he called Quebec nationalism one time. This will be done fairly quickly. Yeah.
That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant Show, which is a show I do every day. I do a monologue, interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at premium.rebelnews.com.